What is up, responsible day traders? Today is Monday, March 14th, 2022. I'm Lindsay Duff, and this is Responsible Day Trading. Guys, I don't think anyone ever said, I love daylight savings, especially when we go back an hour. Because it feels to me right now like it's really 5:45, not 6:45. And I'm exhausted, but it's okay. We're gonna make it through today, and we're just gonna move on. So let's go ahead and just check out the market. Let's look at the news. Let's just get this party started today. All right, so as always, let's start off with the news. We're gonna go here to market news, and if you're looking for it, you can go to responsible.daytrading.com/calendar and market news. Whoa, it looks like we got a lot going on Wednesday. Okay, so nothing today. Tomorrow, pre-market. Wednesday, we got a lot of pre-market. We got some, this may just be a day not to trade. We had market rollover last week. If you're inexperienced, this may be some time to just kind of sit back and watch during a few of these days, especially on Wednesday. We know with the FOMC statements, what can happen at times is sometimes we'll see it slow down right until it pops off and then it goes crazy. And sometimes we just don't see much of anything happen. So it's usually a coin toss. So you want to be aware. Thursday, it's all pre-market. Friday, just a little bit after market opens. So a lot of what we do see going on is pre-market, except for Wednesday. Wednesday and Friday is going to be some kickers. All right, so let's check out what the market is doing. Okay. We're going to start off with this daily chart. Guys, I think we're going to be seeing, and I think it's already started, we're going to be seeing this move to the downside more. We are coming up to the support area, but here's the couple of things. We've got a nice long reversal bar pushing this down. Of course, that could change if this bar comes all the way back up and closes up here. But we've got a reversal bar trying to push to the downside. We already had a hard close down. The MACDs are purple and still outside. When I opened it this morning, this BB was blue. And with that BB being blue, you would anticipate it to roll up and continue up. But I think it was just kind of some leftover movement from last night when it moved back to the upside. Now, if we're really going to anticipate this to push down, we're going to want to see this come down and get below this spot, close below this spot to really say, okay, this market is really working to make the shift to the downside. The EMAs have crossed over. It's a little hard to see, and let me just spread this out just a little bit more so you can see this orange line, and I'll try and highlight it here. There we go. They have already crossed over from where we see this large EMA. The small EMA is getting back below it, which tends to be a sign of more down as well. We do still have some divergence kicking between these pivots. The MACDs have still led higher and the price is led lower. Not obviously right at this exact moment, but the price is leading lower as the MACDs are pushing higher. I don't want to cover this purple. I don't want to cover this last dot, so I can keep an eye on it a little later if I choose to trade today. Right now, the daily chart looks like it's pushing for more down. This is the 28,657, which is my next tick chart when I'm trying to see what the conditions are. We had already missed the short from back here, and you can see on the 233, it gave a lot of opportunities to get into that. But we did make an attempt to get back above the EMAs. We did get back above them. One of the things I like to see happen is a close back above this area in order to anticipate more up. It pulled away, it pulled back above the area, but as soon as it did that, we also recognize some divergence going on here, right? MACD's leading lower, price leading higher, which just still says more down. Let's come to our immediate right now. We can see the immediate's already trying to make a push to the downside. We're pulling right back into that area that has held several times. So, we may think twice before trading directly into it. Might want to think a little bit before trading directly into it. Personally, especially since all of this has already happened and we can see as we're reaching this area, and I don't know why it's doing that, as we're reaching this area down here, the MACDs are slowing down on the 233, but if we're going from high to low, the 1597 is still pushing for us to keep moving. So let's just start from top to bottom. I got a little excited seeing all this moving down here. So if I'm going with my 10946, once again, I'm back below the EMAs, which are really working to pick up the strength to the downside. I have come off, or the market has come off of some divergence, which we see right here. Okay. So the price has led lower. The MACDs were leading higher. We had these white BBs. We've also come back down to this area, and the MACDs are leading significantly higher. I mean, much, much higher as we're reaching down to this area. And even if this comes down to equal this area, we still won't have crossed that Bollinger Band just yet, unless those BBs just pop down like it's hot. Okay. All right. So as we're seeing this come down, look at this it looks like a tiny little bar being made. I mean, it is a 10,946 and we're only about, 1,000 into it. So this could definitely change. But as we came down and reached this area, these BBs didn't make that strong push to the downside. We start to see the BBs getting lighter here, and we see divergence directly. It's so weird to me how it touches this line directly. But I guess it is a even number, pretty much a 4,200. We did, obviously overrun that line quite a few times here, but you can see how many times we just pull back into this area. And, we were back here at it at this point. So it's not the first time we've reached this area, but we don't always see it just pull down to it, tag it, and bounce off of it. So let's talk about, if it comes off of here, what we can anticipate. There's a couple of different things. If the MACDs weekly pull back into the Bollinger Bands and roll off towards, this EMA, we're going to expect it to continue pushing down. If these BBs push through the top Bollinger Band and start to push up, and we see price make a significant move, well, we're going to expect it to continue up or to bounce up. Now, as I'm looking at my 1597, we've touched this area. The MACDs are still purple and outside. They're getting lighter, which means that they're losing some strength. So what we may see is once we get down to this 233, if we pull back and see it bounce off that bottom Bollinger Band and roll up, we always have to know, and I know we keep talking about the possibilities, but we have to know, if it does this, what do I expect to happen? And what am I going to do to be a part of it, right? So right now the BBs are kind of strong outside of the Bollinger Bands here, so may not be expecting it to turn around just now. And even though we're still outside of the Bollinger Bands here, they're turning white, they're slowing down, coupled with this possibility for divergence. I'd really anticipate this to pull back a little bit deeper to the upside if it is going to continue down. Okay, my friends, that is going to wrap it up for this morning. I may go back and take me a little nap and then come back and trade later. I don't know. No, definitely won't be taking a nap because I want to get good sleep tonight so that I can get back into the cycle of, getting up at what was once 4:30, but now 5:30. So if you aren't aware about daylight savings, most of us shift over in the US. There's a couple of places that don't. Most of Arizona doesn't. Strange, but true. So, just make sure you're adjusting your time properly if you want to trade when the market opens or being aware of when it closes, because now the Eastern time has shifted forward by 1 hour. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. I don't think I really have any announcements today. I hope that everybody has a wonderful week. Take it easy. Breathe through it all. It's okay. Oh, and I do have 3 vault videos that are going to go out later on this week. I just needed some time to rest this weekend, so I didn't get anything done. But yeah. All right, guys, everybody have a wonderful week. As always, you know that I look forward to catching you on the profitable side.